Hey, this is Martha back with Black Friday haul part 2. So today we'll be talking about Scrappy Boy stamps and the stamp market. Now these are two companies that I absolutely love. I just don't shop with as often as other companies. Again, back to what I said in the first video, it comes down to the amount of money that you have to spend in a month. And so sometimes other companies take precedence for me, but I absolutely do love these companies and the products they offer. So my wish lists were with both were kind of long this Black Friday, and so I was glad to be able to pick up a few of the things off of my wish list. Now, I probably would have gone all in with Scrappy Boy, except for this year his sale was a little bit different, and he did better than Black Friday, and it was only on certain things, but you did get 35% off of those things. So I focused on the things that were on my wish list, got those things at 35% off, and then he did send a coupon with my package that I assume everybody got, but it's for 25% off more one specific day in December. And so I will see if that applies then to other things that maybe are still on my wish list. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work yet. So, um, but I'm excited to have the coupon because you know me, if it's on sale, most likely I'm going to buy it. So we will jump right in with Scrappy Boy stamps. So I did pick up a ton of paper, two of each pack, and I'm going to show you those. I did take them out earlier so that you guys could see them. I love his paper. He always has such great designs, a lot of Disney inspired ones, which catch my eye. So starting out, this one is called Love the Mouse, and I went ahead and just took out each pattern so that you could see it. Very classic Mickey colors, lots of stripes, lots of stars, lots of uh, chevrons. Love, love, love. And like I said, classic mouse colors. So if you're picking up those spellbinders dies from that I showed the other day, these would work perfectly with that. And he does have a ton of his own Disney inspired dies too, so they work together very well. So I got 2 packs of that pad. The next one is called I Love Theme Parks, and this has more of the icons on it. Your ice creams. Love this rainbow pattern. Polka dots. I love 6x6 pads because they are perfectly sized for cards, which is predominantly what I make. I have started branching out. I love this one. Branching out more into 12x12 packs just because of some of the bigger albums and 3D projects require a bigger size paper, but 6x6 size will always have my heart. This one is called Alice. I have always kind of liked Alice in Wonderland, but it wasn't until here more recently our fourth child, who is going to be 18 soon, he is a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, which is random, I know, right? Because normally it's not really a guy thing. I think it's mostly the Mad Hatter is like his favorite character. He has a shirt that says some stuff about, I think it says, "Are you mad, bro?" or something. And it's hilarious every time he wears it. I love it. But I think it's just the silly nonsense of it that he absolutely loves Alice in Wonderland. So my attention is now more drawn to those types of things. It's always fun when your kids develop an interest and then you can make cards and projects for them based off of that. This one is called Cute Kids Detectives, and there's a stamp set that matches it. Me personally, I love all things detective, true crime, Sherlock Holmes, all that kind of stuff. So kind of like I said yesterday with the food carts or the food stands, I will forever buy detective theme things also. I love this one with the crime scene kind of in the fingerprints. And I like that on his pages, normally there's a front page that is, super decorative, and then the back page is kind of simpler, one that you could embellish more. So that is Cute Kid Detectives paper, and then here's the stamp set that matches it. The guy with the newspaper, and then the camera. Love those. Girl following the footprints. And you guys can see all the sentiments, so I'm not going to read them all. But one thing I love about Scrappy Boy stamps is he really puts thought into the sentiments that he adds to his stamp sets. And I mean, a lot of companies kind of just default to happy birthday, and really, how many happy birthday sentiments do you need? Not that many. So I like that he, does some that are kind of punny. He does some that kind of coordinate with the stamps and are more outside of the box. So that's fun. I did pick up mousicles, which basically makes ice pops. And I've seen Meliza use this one a lot, which is why I picked it up, because I thought it would be fun to add as embellishments on projects. And then, of course, they're all separated, so you could use, like the bow on different projects, or this popsicle stick on other things. It doesn't have to be used with this stamps or this die set. This is the Rocking Horse mini album, and it creates, this is a large size, like my hands are pretty big, so it is mini album sized, which is nice. Again, with the Alice in Wonderland, this is the Mad Hatter die. I love that he included the key and the keyhole. If you were creative enough, you probably, because these are all separated, you could just use this as a top hat die too. It doesn't have to be Alice in Wonderland themed. I am really thankful for design team members. This one is the Beer Mug A2 gift card holder. And the reason I say that is because I don't drink alcohol. So normally I see things like this and I just pass by and kind of move on to the next thing. But there was a design team member that showed this as root beer. And then that got my mind really going, because I was like, you could do this as root beer like she did, and then include a gift card for, ice cream and root beer, like for your favorite grocery store or whatever, and do a whole root beer float kind of gift theme basket or card. And that is totally something that I would do, because I love root beer floats. It doesn't get more Wisconsin-y than that. So this was a great one to have. And like I said, this is the gift card size, so you put your gift card in there and it slides up. Super cute. And then, like I told you guys yesterday, I don't drink coffee, but I have so many people in my circle that do. This is the coffee mini album. It does not have to, though, be just a coffee mini album. You could totally use these letters across a slimline card, add, a girl holding coffee from La La Land, or one of your Anyas from the greeting farm, and make some type of slimline card. With slimline cards, then they're big enough to include the gift cards. Like I said, with the Spellbinders gift card pockets, you could include that on the inside, and then, do your Starbucks or a local coffee house. And I was like, yes, into my stash it goes. And I love that there's the stitching, as well as the shadows. So it's several layers of letters here. And then all these letters are going to cut out separately with the cup, so you could use this on something else. Next up is the greeting farm. Or, I'm sorry, not the greeting farm. We did that yesterday, the stamp market. So last year, they had these two stamps available. And somehow, okay, so this one is called, don't know what it's called. I want to say it's called Burr, maybe? I don't remember offhand, but I think it's called Burr. And this was a stamp that was available with their free gift, which was a beanie hat die. And somehow I got the beanie hat and I didn't get the stamp set. And I don't know how I did that, but by the time I went back to look for it, it was already sold out. So I was super excited this year when I saw it on the sale rack, because I was able to grab it at a really cheap price. In addition to it being cheap, it was also then a part of the sale. So I got like double whammy on that, and so super cheap. But we have Baby It's Cold Outside, Burr, Baby, Snowflake, Hot Cocoa, Beanies Equals Happiness, Stay Cozy and Snuggle, Sending Warm Wishes to You, and then some snowflakes. So I'm excited to have this to go with the die that I got last year. And then this one is called Oh Hello, and I have had this on my wish list forever. I don't remember if it came out last year or the year before last, but somehow I missed it. And by the time I realized I missed it, then it was gone, and not even on their website anywhere. I couldn't find it in any D-stash groups or anything like that. And so I was glad, again, like with the other one, that this was on the clearance of the clearance this year. So they must have found some in a warehouse or something. But I love this big Oh Hello sentiment. I am a huge fan. You'll see later, I'll talk about it a little bit more, of hi and hello and hey there type dies and sentiments, because it's just so easy with when you need to make cards in bulk, like if you're making 10, 12, 15 cards, to do a pattern paper that's really pretty, and then put the oh hello or hi or hey on the front, and it really makes a bold statement. So I'm excited that I was finally able to pick this one up. Then we have the PS stamp, and this one I bought specifically for this giant PS. I am a huge fan of the sentiment, PS I love you, and this one, it doesn't, they do have the love you here, but mostly I wanted this big one to stamp, and then I have other smaller sentiments that I can add off to the side, if that makes sense. Again, something that's in my brain, and I just need to translate it to the card. But I love this too, because you have the because you're seriously one of a kind, amazing, wonderful, thoughtful, creative. Your friendship means so much. It's just such a great set, but specifically this big bold PS, absolutely love that. Then everybody was going nuts over the clapperboard set, and when I saw it I was like, yes, I need it. And then other things happened and it just stayed on my wish list for a while, but I've already seen different people use this to make birthday style, movie style clapperboard projects, and I'm excited to finally have it in my stash. So the clapperboard is here, and it comes together pretty easily from what I understand. And then they have the stamp sets that coordinate for birthday, and then the numbers, so you could like birthday celebration productions and whatever the person's year is, 40th or whatever. But I've also seen some people just do movie themed projects, and I love movie nights, especially with popcorn. So I'm excited to see what I might be able to come up with that. I don't have any definite ideas yet, so we'll see how far I get with it, but I'm excited to have that in my stash. And then also with this set, this is the file folder, the larger A2 size, and it does come with this notebook paper, and then your tab, your paper clip, and then your office memo here. And then for the front of your file, you have your top secret. The card is top secret, the file is top secret, all the classified things important. So a couple years back, I actually made an army themed card for my dad, and I did it all myself. I, cut the folder out myself, and I combined different stamp sets to make a top secret seal and all that stuff. So this is going to definitely be a whole lot easier to do for that. And I really like how the Stamp Market takes time choosing their fonts, because they do a nice mix of solids and then prints, or script, I guess it's called. Really, really like the fonts that they choose for their projects, and how they're mostly bold, and even like on this birthday one, it is a script, but big bold letters that you're able to read. So I appreciate that, Stamp Market. Good job. Keep up the good work. And then I also picked up this spiral bound die that makes your paper look like it's a spiral notebook, or torn pages from your notebook. That's going to come in handy. Again, you don't have to do it all by hand. And then this caught my eye. It wasn't on my wish list at all, but as I was scrolling the site, making sure that I didn't miss anything, I came across this field notes pocket. And so it just makes a pocket, but the thing that I love about it is that it's A2 size. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's going to be perfect for so many things. I do not have a pocket that's this large, and so I think this will be a lot of fun in projects, mini albums, and even just the front of cards, maybe making like a pocket and then just having your card pull out. Just some different ideas that are kind of rumbling around in my brain. We'll see how far I get with it. But yeah, I don't have anything that large, so that was exciting. I am a huge fan. You're going to hear me say I'm a huge fan of a lot of things. And mostly it seems like I'm saying it a lot because I try to buy things that I'm a fan of, which makes sense, right? But I am a huge Alpha junkie. So Alpha dies, Alpha stamps especially. And I'm kind of picky with my fonts. And so when I saw this one that's called Bold Block Letters, I realized that I did not have anything like this in my stash, and so I picked it up. So when I look at fonts, I look at mostly the curvy letters. So like this G is different. The E has it, you know, up here higher. I like that the H is higher instead of it being, you know, down here. Same with the K. It's a little bit different. So this is where I kind of live. This S is kind of a wonky shaped. So looking for different things than what I already have in my stash. So this was going to be a good one to use on cards. And then from the new release, the way the stamp market does their sale is they coincide their sale with their November release. So the November release things are not on sale, but they're available. So at least you're, you know, getting it towards free shipping. And I did not pick up a ton of things from the new release, even though it was baking themed, which I love that too. Huge fan. But they did send this card with a recipe on the back, so that's fun. And then I did pick up this tag from the new release, and it's a good size tag, probably almost 6 or so inches, maybe 6.5 inches. And then it has this word cookies, which I love the font on it, like I said. And you can see that, how it cuts out here on this. Such a fun font. So I did pick that up, and then this Merry Little Tree was the freebie that they sent when you spent a certain amount of money. So I think that you can make it into a tag. I think that that's what that is here. And then you have your two from, and I think that says Mary. I'm pretty sure it says Mary. So that is what I hauled from the stamp market in Scrappy Boy. Overall, I'm really happy with my purchases, especially since they were on sale. And I will catch you guys in part 3 later on.